Hi, guys, and welcome to the first ever Anything Goes podcast. It is I, the magnificent, the brave, and the bold, Eli. I'm also joined here by my co-host, Mr. Incredible Total Unit, Sean.
Wow, thanks, man.
And you're welcome. You're welcome. And then the number one red guy. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. Ronnie.
Welcome,
wow,
red guy.
I have nothing.
What's up, man?
I have nothing to say to that one. That just sucked.
Look, all right. So everyone who's tuning in, if anyone is tuning in, doesn't matter. Obviously, this is our first episode of the Anything Goes podcast. So just doing a little bit of an introduction, so that way everybody can get to know everybody. So we're gonna go around really quick in alphabetical order because I think it's the way we should do this. And say one quick fun fact about yourself, starting with me, because I think I come first in the alphabet. I never passed English class. So, Eli, and it's a fun fact about me. I like the color blue.
Wow, dude. Now I know you so well. I can't believe you would say a secret like that on this podcast.
Dude, I'm just...
I know. You take way too long.
Dude,
it's my turn now.
I pulled it straight out of my diary, okay?
It's my turn now, okay? See, I'm going to show you how easy this is. Okay, hello, I'm Ronnie, and I'm retarded. All right, your turn, Sean. See, it's just that easy. It's just that easy.
You just gotta pass over it just like that?
Yeah, it's your turn, Sean. Go on.
I kind of want an elaboration on that, but...
Okay.
All right.
Well, okay. Sean, a fun fact, my earliest memory is of me playing Pokemon.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
No life in since a youngin'.
Sean, I think when you die, all that's going to flash before your eyes is Pokemon.
Yeah,
I plan on it.
He's like getting ready to get hit by a train, and he's just like, Pokemon.
Dude, what if Sean died? What if Sean did get hit by a truck and he got transported into an isekai, and it was him playing and it was like a Pokemon isekai? Dude, bruh, let's make that anime.
Oh, what?
An isekai anime of Sean getting hit by a truck and he gets teleported into a Pokemon game.
Okay, dude, I watch anime, but I don't know what an isekai is.
Yes, you do.
I don't know that term.
What?
I swear to you, I don't.
You're retarded. You're no.
I'm retarded?
Yes.
All right.
Oh
my name's Eli. I would like to change my fun fact about myself. I'm retarded.
Oh, you're retarded and you're a stealer. Okay, but isekai is like sort of online, all that stuff where like you get transported into another world and then it's just like, you know, the generic bull
like
crap.
Sword Art Online, Tower of Duraga,
Shield Hero, Overlord.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yeah, is that an isekai? I don't know anything about that one. I never watched or care to watch.
I think it is.
I have no idea. But yeah, that'd be sick if Sean died and he got transported into a Pokemon world. He'd become the Pokemon Master. Speaking of Pokemon Master, first topic of the day, Ash finally won the Pokemon League. Can you believe that?
Yes. It only took 22 years.
It only took 22 years and for him to be the least prepared of his entire life to finally win a Pokemon League.
22 years in his void world where he never grows up and none of his Pokemon evolve.
No,
he should be older than me.
No, legit. I gotta talk about this because this still blows my mind. He lost the last Pokemon League in Kalos, and in Kalos, that was his best team yet. Like, they were all fully evolved. They were, except for Pikachu, but no one counts that stupid rodent anymore. But they were all evolved, and he still lost. He still lost. But in this one, I think he had an unevolved Rowlet. The owl, is that its name, Sean? The owl? Yeah, Rowlet, he had an uninvolved Rowlet. He had the second form of Litten. He had Greninja,
right?
No, not in this one.
Oh. No.
And he, like, basically, I don't think he had any fully evolved form. Well, no, he did. Rockruff, he had a fully evolved Rockruff, and that was about it. Like, that was it. And he won. he was able to win with his Rowlet in the first, like, against his rival. He won against his rival with his Rowlet against his rival who had a fully evolved Rowlet, and he won. And I couldn't. I was just like, "Are you freaking kidding?" Ash won purely out of just like, I can't even still believe that he won. Like, it's just retarded that he won. But he did. But now he gets to. But the joke is though is that he won the league, but I think he's supposed to fight like the champion. Like, he's supposed to fight, the professor and how he's like the luchador, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Professor Oak?
No, the professor of that
Kukui.
region. Yeah, Kukui.
Oh, okay.
You get to if you win, you get to fight him. And I bet he loses because he has to lose the final round. So I can't wait for that.
All right. Well, I mean, I honestly did not watch it, so I don't know. But obviously, since it's very recent, it's been all over like Twitter and Facebook and
the
everything.
dude's been taking the L for so long.
Yeah.
The dude has been taking the fat L. He's been getting dabbed on constantly, and for good reasons.
It makes sense though. It makes sense. You got to look at it like this. He's a 10-year-old kid going up against fully professional adults who have been like battling for years and all this other crap, and it makes sense. It doesn't make sense that they dragged it on for 22 years.
It does make sense why.
But it makes sense that like it took forever for him to actually get to a point of, okay, I can actually beat somebody, because even though as much as he wants to believe, hey, I'm like, one of the greatest trainers out here, he's not.
To be fair,
not at all.
To be fair for Ash, he's actually not that bad of a trainer. Like, okay, he sucked major dick in Kanto. Like, he was the worst. Like, 4 out of his badges were just like freebies. He didn't even actually beat them. They were just handed to him. And so like that one, it completely makes sense that he lost that league. And it completely makes sense that he lost a lot of the leagues. I think a lot of people were frustrated with the Kalos one because that was like Ash at his best. Like, that was him at his peak. Yet he still lost, but he wins this one, which was, and it's kind of hard to like even like really feel that good because it's the first ever one where like legit any jobber can join the championship. Like, you don't even have to win all the island challenges. They just allowed people to join. So like that was what some people didn't like about it, and it just doesn't feel like he earned it as much as it would have been for like the Kalos one, because I think the Kalos one is that it was Ash at his best, and then just this random dude just shows up at the end and just stomps him, and it just, that one everyone was like mad about. I know that much.
Yeah, it's just like a consolation win.
Yeah, or a consolation loss. Well, I thought you were talking about the one with the Kalos one.
No, the new one. They're just like, oh, we did him dirty, so we'll let him win this one.
It feels like, and some people are thinking that he might not be the main character of the next one, which I don't believe. I don't think that's going to happen, because it's pretty clear, like, the only reason why he hasn't won a league yet is because they want to keep his story going. But I don't think that him winning this one will get rid of him for the next series.
I wouldn't expect it, but on the other hand, it has been going for a really long time, and the new region is based in an area that you would assume is far away from where he is.
But here's the deal,
some
though.
sense
Again,
they might switch the character.
it's he's been this is why I say it doesn't make sense that 22 years or whatever, and all these different locations, and he's still only 10 years old. I can't verify that. I think he did actually age. I think people said that he's actually like 11 now or some crap.
I think he.
Yeah,
I think
he did age a little bit.
Yeah, he did actually age, but it's like you got to think for the travel time. Anywhere he travels to, he's walking, right? He's walking with his little group. He's traveling all these different places. It's like by this point, the kid has literally walked all across America in less than a year.
Well,
like,
a lot of people bring up
which
the
is
point.
which is my deal. Like the distance of like all of what he's traveled, and all the time that he spends in each location and everything. That's why I say it's not. I mean, it's an anime, so it doesn't really matter. But
honestly,
it's just something that always gets brought up.
It's something that like people like to meme on, but in the end, it really just doesn't matter. A lot of people like to point out the idea of like each Pokemon episode being at least a day. So he would be like well over He'd probably be like well over 15 at this point if that was the case, or close to 15. I don't know. I don't know how many episodes there are. I don't actually watch the anime, but he's like he's well into his teenage years if that was the case. But the reason why they don't do it is because what for
'Cause, I mean, he was 10, right? So that would be like 3 years.
Well, how many
365 days.
are there?
That's like 1,000 episodes.
I don't know how many episodes Pokemon has. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, how many episodes?
He's probably. I would say he's definitely like, if he's not 13 yet, he's probably getting close to there. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how many episodes of Pokemon there are, so you can.
Well, there's episodes in Pokemon where like 2 days to like a week goes by.
This is also true. The whole Brock episode, I think that was like a couple of days because he had to train Pikachu by charging him up on a windmill.
Yeah, there's like multiple episodes where it's multiple days. It's not like just each one episode is 1 day.
Yeah,
because there's
There
one
is,
episode that's like 3 days and one episode that's a week, and then
a lot
episode
of them are just 1 day episodes because usually just Ash and the gang showing up in a place, stopping Team Rocket, and then heading out. But that is true. Like I said,
helping some little girl.
like I said,
and
he's
then
definitely
saving her
not 10
Pokemon.
years old. Like there's no way.
Well,
It's
there's 1,080 episodes. So.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay. See, I told you he's well into his
That's
teens.
that's like
So
3
he's like
years.
around,
Yeah,
if you assume that rule, he's like 13.
13.
He's like
Ish.
he's well into his teens. So yeah. No, the only reason why they keep him 10 is because who cares? And all
I don't know.
and well, also
I don't
because
know.
just to like keep it up with like the kids, they want to keep
Right.
Ash young so that way they don't have to like age him, so that way he can continue going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, in a
you gotta
weird
look
way, you can almost like see each new like region as its own individual series. So they don't always
Story,
connect
like a
them that
separate
heavily.
story.
Yeah, I think the newest season, like he went to Alola because his family was actually on vacation, and that's why this series, I'm told, had a lot of like was very like relaxed and just about having fun. So it completely fits with the theme because he's on vacation. He's just having fun. And I think that's another reason why people didn't like him winning the league because he was just goofing off. He wasn't actually like trying.
Well, maybe that's the moral.
That is what some people say is that having fun is like the real victory or something like that.
The real point.
that's
of
what
it,
some
yeah.
people
That
are
is a
saying
pretty
with that one.
typical like Pokemon thing. It's like the people who only care about like winning are the people who don't do that well. But when you're like just enjoying your like relationship with your Pokemon or whatever,
But
that's
Ash
when
is
you're at your strongest.
But Ash has always done that, and he's always lost. That's the
Right.
thing.
Even when he is at like the best or most positive with his Pokemon, he still gets his ass handed to him. So it's
Right.
just
he still loses, which is kind of a shame, and that's why a lot of people that could also fit because I heard that like I didn't watch the one where he's in Kalos, but I heard that Ash is very he's more of a badass in that one. Like that's definitely like him at his peak. He's like really good at like training and battling, and he's just like he just doesn't like he's just really good. And he's like I heard that it was a more serious take on Ash, so it was kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
I think it's just like a lost opportunity that they stick with Ash and like keep him the same age for so long. With how
it's
long-
for the target audience, though. It's honestly, to be honest,
I don't know. It's just for how long it's been going. You'd think that they'd want to. You could have
right.
actual character
but-
arcs. and,
Yeah.
like,
But at the same time, this is the way that I see it. When Pokemon came out, obviously, like, we were kids. People older than us were kids. A bunch of us were just kids. It started out with kids, and that's the target audience. It's marketed towards kids. Technically, us being adults now and, like, watching it or whatever, they don't care about us. We're not who they're...
I would agree with you,
They-
but
they-
I don't
they
think
do-
that's the case anymore.
So they do care about us on, I see it as like the financial spectrum because we're the ones who are buying into everything. But as far as like the ratings for like the show and everything, they're still marketing it to children. And so if Ash grew up with us, right? And I'm not going to dox my age or anything, but I'm a certain age and then he's a certain age and he's like the same age as me or some crap like that.
Well, that's.
Kids aren't really going to
I
want
get
to watch
what you're
that.
saying, but
Like,
that's why I'm saying
there's-
just don't have Ash as the main character for every season. Use new characters so you can explore different
Yeah, but
types of people and different character arcs and stories.
Yeah, but aside from Pikachu himself, he's the poster boy of Pokemon, you know?
I kind of. I feel like his hat is. I don't know if him specifically.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, a lot of people, what some people suggest is the idea of doing a time skip where you do follow a different character, but they do run into Ash, where he actually finally achieved his goal of becoming a Pokemon master, and you get to see, like, where that road led to. Because, like, again, Ash is built, his whole thing is to be built around, we're going to keep this going forever, and that's why Ash will always continue, because he'll never, I don't think he'll ever achieve his goal of becoming a Pokemon master, because it's so vague. And there's even a point where they ask him, Ash, what even is a Pokemon Master? And he replies with, I don't know. So he's just built to like keep going. So
it's what Red is, and he'll never be.
It's
what Red was, and he'll never be.
I think he just has to find his own definition of what that means.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That would be like the satisfying end to his story. Would be that he like comes to terms with what he thinks it is, and is like happy that he's reached it.
I've heard that a lot of people. I've heard like some people. I shouldn't say a lot of people all the time, but I've heard like one person talk about how, in the Diamond and Pearl anime, he fought this dude named Paul, and Paul was like. One thing that I love about Paul, Sean, is that I don't know if you know anything about this guy, but he's basically like the IV trainer of like Pokemon. Like he's the type of guy. Like there's actually a part where he catches a Starly, or is that what they're called? The stupid bird Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl, are they called Starlies?
Yes.
He captures two Starlies, and he looks at one, and then he looks at the other, and he goes, "Ugh, this one's weaker," and he tosses it. Like he just like immediately returns it. He like sets it free. Ruthless. So like that's the whole thing. Like that's his whole point, is that he's like the guy that just wants to win and everything. And like his whole like rival match with Ash. I've heard this guy say that was like Ash's character arc's peak. Like that was his peak. Nothing will ever beat like all of the drama and all of the stuff that was going on in that fight. Like that was the peak of everything that Ash was. So like continuing from there was just kind of a waste of time. So that's what I've seen people say. So I don't know. I honestly think that Ash will continue living. He'll probably live past me.
I mean,
probably, dude, at this rate. Well, because that's been like 17 minutes of Poke Chat. Let's switch the subject here really quickly. I wanted to bring up something that's very near and dear to my heart, and I care greatly about. And I am ashamed.
Pussy?
Of not only myself, but a large number of people. Some might say about 2.5 million people I'm ashamed of. Okay. The Great Area 51 raid.
That happened?
That is, as we're recording today, for everyone who's listening, you guys know the date. It's like September 20th.
Way to date our podcast.
So, whatever. Who cares, dude? But the point is, the thing that I'm absolutely baffled by is two things, and they're both kind of like opposite ends of the spectrum. One thing is I'm baffled by the fact that people actually went and like are there right now, like they're still there at this current moment. And the other thing that I'm actually a little bit upset about is that people didn't go. Like, you can't get a pledge from 2.5 million people. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go just for the memes, shits and giggles, and then not show up. No, I don't care if it's just for the memes. I don't care if it's just
there, dude.
My expectation is though. But my expectation is though 100,000.
No.
That is a small percentage.
No, here's the reason why.
Small percentage of 2.5 million people.
Eli, you want to know why it's autistic to think that many people will go there? There's like only like one hotel in that area. Like, what do you want people to do? Like, that's the problem. That thing was filled up like the first week that meme came up. Like, but no one's going.
This is the deal, though. A lot of people. So I think from what I seen when I was scrolling through Twitter or whatever. Don't worry, I'm not going to do a shameless plug here. From what I've seen on Twitter from everybody, there's about, I think there was like 2,000 people there, and I think they said the numbers are still rising. Like, there's still people showing up. So, possibility there is going to be a lot of people. But the stupid thing is that they had the actual raid set for 3 a.m. this morning. Who the fuck is going to go raid Area 51 at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Like the original, like...
That was the plan. That was
the original
the
post?
Facebook, group. If you open the group page and everything and you read it, yes, that's what it is.
That guy was trolling.
3 a.m. I know.
I don't know why you're surprised by any of the... what are they doing? Just tell me what they're doing. I don't care. I want to know what they're doing.
That's what I'm getting to. I'm gonna get to it. I'm getting to it. So basically, what they're doing is they turned it into a form of Woodstock, and they're calling it Alien Stock.
What?
And it's now they're doing like multitudes of concerts over the course of 3 days, I think is what it says. So it's like a 3-day concert deal, like Coachella or Woodstock or whatever you want to call it, but they're calling it Alien Stock. And I was listening to some of the coordinators because I was watching an interview, and one of the coordinators for it was like, he's like, oh no one's going to be doing any raiding or anything like that. People are just here for a good time, good food, and good good music. So the thing that I am happy about, and I'm hoping the guy who made it is getting a little recognition, some type of recognition for it, because they've turned this meme into an actual business deal. Like it's like now there's businesses here selling food. You've got bands. Blink 182 is there performing. Blink 182 is performing. I think at that point they've got all of this business incentive,
right?
But for the people that are just going there, people who just went and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just here for the fuck of it or whatever. But then there's also that there's that small percentage of people who are there and they're like, I'm still down. they're like I'll catch a bullet. I'm still down. Like,
wait, are they doing the concert in front of Area 51? Can they do that?
Area 51 is, a lot of people don't know this, but Area 51 is a lot bigger than people think. So the central air base, airfield
outside the
that
gate.
People see. No. So it's kind of weird. It's like, so Area 51, it's got like the big air base. That's like the main center thing. And people don't know that there's also a research center that's like a little bit separate from it, but it's also its own thing and it's connected to Area 51. But it's got like, I think like, it's got like a mile or some crap like that in between it and the air base. I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but this is what I believe I heard. It's all speculation, so don't trust me. So it's got like the research base that's like a little bit separate, and it's got like the whole gate around it. And then I think it has like 5 miles worth of like restricted airspace and stuff, so no one can drive within that general 5 miles. And then like outside of that is where you see like traffic going and everyone driving by, and that's where like they're actually holding the concerts and whatnot. So yeah. So it's not like directly there, but it's there. It's a bit of ways away.
Sounds lame.
It is. It honestly is, but it's smart.
It got turned corporate. No, I wanted bloodshed.
It sounds like a cool way to turn something that was like kind of a joke into an actual fun little event.
No, I wanted.
There's no way anyone's realistically getting anywhere.
That's why I wanted it to happen. I wanted someone to get shot down.
Okay, it's just kind of a cool thing,
Yeah, I think it's a fun deal. My genuine expectation, I was honestly gonna go, but I wanted to go on my motorcycle and be kind of geared up just so I look kind of cool. Obviously not gonna do anything. I was mainly gonna just fly my drone over and watch everyone like get massacred if it actually happened. Unfortunate, I know, and that sounds evil, but it's the deal. If people are running into if people are running into a wall of bullets, then that's what it is. But I did want to go, actually, but I obviously had work today, and there was no way I was going to go to this thing at 3 a.m. Like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, I wasn't going to ride 6 hours to get there,
The thing is, like, the first thing is like, who's gonna coordinate that kind of thing? You know, there's no way you're gonna get thousands of people to all go at the same time, and even if you do, it's not like they're not gonna shoot them. They're gonna use like a heat
bean
gun.
bags and tear gas and like the microwave gun.
Yeah, they'll use the riot control gun and it's fine.
Yeah, that thing makes you like sick to your stomach and immediately vomit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now we can all admit that it was an autistic idea from the start.
From the start, yeah, it was
a funny joke.
Yeah, it was a funny joke, but
like started to take seriously.
Yeah.
But then smartly adjusted and turned it into a fun opportunity for business and just a little bit of a party.
And it always happens with these kinds of things. I mean, I don't know. Like storming the Bastille, probably everyone was like writing notes to each other, and they're like, "My dear friend, we are going to be storming the Bastille on whatever date that was. I don't know." And they like mailed it out to all their friends, and then they get the replies. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going. Oh yeah, sweet dude. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll storm the Bastille." And it's like thousands of people talking about, "Oh yeah, we're gonna storm the Bastille," and then like 100 people show up. So it's like, and that's like it's the same thing with this. So it's like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be there." And then of all of those people, I mean, granted, a lot of the people that said that they were going weren't even from America. A lot of people like out of the country were saying that they were gonna go. So
I mean, that was all for the meme. You can't take.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can tell it's all for
like
the meme.
The 2 million pledges. Like that was all just for the meme. There was no way.
Yeah.
Now, I was telling Sean about this prior to the podcast. I watched a couple interviews, and I was watching I saw like some pictures of people there and stuff like that. And there were some people there that were like geared to the teeth, and those are the people that I know were serious about it. Because there was a guy who had like a yellow, like a orange or yellow like security jacket, like a mall security jacket or whatever.
Right.
He had like that with like actual body armor on. He had a taser on his hip and like a combat knife on his leg. And I'm like, holy crap, this guy's like he was actually hoping to get in there, And I know there's like those people, and I thought, the idea behind it, again, it's funny, it was cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But to actually do something like that is pretty foolhardy. But I think the whole point of it was, if we do this, is the American government really willing to just murder its own citizens for something so truthfully harmless? I think was what the point of the whole deal was. So like, they're either going to kill us, and like, that causes a really big issue because thousands of people just died for wanting to see what was inside of an airbase. And then it makes sense if it was outside people, like people that aren't Americans or whatever, but these are your own people who just are curious, and you guys are refusing to like tell anyone or show anyone what's in it, so they might as well, they're just like, "Oh well, we're just gonna run on in," and you guys are just like, "No, fucking shoot him, put a fucking tank round in his head or some shit." I don't know.
I was talking to my coworkers about this, and they brought up that point too, and I said the problem is the government doesn't even need to shoot you because you're not even going to be able to get past the gate. What are you going to do? Blow up the gate? How are you going to get through?
That's why they've got Kyles, man. They've got Kyles. They're going to like drive the trucks through.
Now guess what you've done? Then they have reasons to like actually use force to kick you out because that's retarded. That's just retarded. Like,
even if you go through the fence, all they have to do is just like lock the doors. Eventually, you have to get out of the car, and then they'll like tase you or whatever.
Yeah, there was legit no way.
That's why I said like beanbag guns or whatever. Just the rubber balls. Just shoot people with those. That stuff hurts. My uncle's been shot in the nuts by one before, and he no longer has a testicle.
And even
Yikes!
And
that's gotta hurt.
And here's another thing: even if they were hiding something, and even if you did actually manage to get in there, you're not going to find anything. Because, like a retard, you announce the date and time you're going to do your raid.
To the world.
So they just...
To the world.
Yeah, to the entire world. So you know what? They just, like, move the stuff somewhere else until you leave, and then they bring it back. Like,
they literally had like months of preparation.
You gave them
by
months.
the way, months.
It's not.
They were like, oh, you know what? We do have that that experimental alien spacecraft, the T-670. Oh yeah, and then we've got that alien weapon, the the one that turns people into chickens. Oh yeah.
Just
move those to Site B.
let's move those to Area 52.
Just move it to Site B. We've got a whole month before they even get here.
Yeah.
Like, they probably could have waited till like the last minute to move everything too, because no one's allowed within the transportation areas of it anyway. So it was like, take crap out if they did have it, move it, and then just like wait till they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd guess the chances are high that, if anything, at this point, they use Area 51 as like an easy decoy. Like, everyone assumes the crazy stuff is there.
Right. If it was a live like a live research facility where they're researching actual alien tech and aliens and spaceships and stuff, if that were real, then at this point, I mean, it's been years and years and years, and like since everyone's already started like these conspiracies about it and everything, I think they've probably had an easy opportunity to just say, all right, well, everyone already believes it is, so we'll just start up another one somewhere else, and
I saw
people can keep thinking what it is.
I saw a really good meme about it where it's this two couple like lying in bed sleeping, and then like the husband just like jolts up, and she's like, what's wrong, and he just like looks at her like all serious. He says, if Area 51 does exist, do you think Trump do you think Trump would just keep it a secret? They both just look shocked. Yeah, Area 51 doesn't exist, dude.
It exists.
It exists, but
Alright,
like the
no, it
conspiracy
exists.
there.
What would you even find there? And
You
more
wouldn't
than
find
likely,
anything.
it's just military technology that they don't
It's
want
probably
people
just
to find.
it's probably just
eventually.
it's probably just weapon testing. Like
Yeah.
if anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that there aren't. So here's my deal. I'm not gonna say that there aren't UFOs there, but I don't think that there's UFOs from aliens.
Yeah.
I think they're like human-made, man-made. Like, we just completely made them, because a lot of people forget that back during World War II, Germany literally made they were doing all that testing on like their airfields and stuff, where they made like those disc-shaped flying machines and stuff, and they were all crap and none of them worked, but the Nazis did it. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we found a significance in the reason why they were doing it, and we're like, oh crap, you know what, that is a good idea, this makes sense, and then they decided to start making them. I don't think it's like, oh, the aliens came, an alien crash landed on Earth, and we confiscated it, and now we're now we test off of it or something.
Sure.
I think it's more so like, if that stuff exists, because I do believe it does kind of exist. I mean, you got to look at some of the planes we've got, like the freaking Black Hawks, and some of these drones already look alienated as it is. So it's like, I don't know how to say it. Okay, I don't not believe it.
Okay.
that they exist. But I just don't think it's what everyone thinks they are. I think it's more on a simple level of, yeah, we made that ourselves. We just figured, hey, at this point, let's try it.
That's how it often goes.
Right.
Yeah.
I suppose this whole thing brings up an interesting question of, do you think that there are aliens? Do you
I
believe?
think it's ignorant to think that they don't exist. I think if you don't think aliens exist, it's kind of ignorant, because, sorry if I'm taking shots at anyone, just letting it know, but frankly, I don't care.
No one's listening.
Everyone can have their own opinion.
Sure.
I was mainly speaking to you two.
Aliens aliens do exist, but none of
Yeah,
the
it's
intelligent ones are anywhere near us.
Exactly.
We would've-
It's like the other aliens that exist, they're probably like fairly similar to us. They're probably advancing at the same rate, or maybe they are a lot more advanced. Who knows? Doesn't matter. But the point is, they're not coming over here for like the sole purpose of studying humans and probing us. It's not shit that. Why would they?
Like,
if they are far more advanced, why are they probing us? For
You know what? Okay.
I think the real question is, if they're here, why can't we see where they are? Because we could see pretty damn far at this point, like with telescopes.
Exactly.
Like,
We've
it's
reached
shocking
to like the edges of the galaxy at this point. We've seen like,
Yeah, we could see insane amounts of things. So the fact that we've seen literally nothing, is
I will-
interesting.
What
to
is
me.
that?
I-
There's this thing that's super interesting to me in space that like I always think about because when I was way younger, one of like my dream deals was like I want to be an astronaut. Obviously, it's one of those like
Sure. Right.
stereotypical like child things. But like I never said I wanted to be a firefighter. I never said I wanted to be a cop. I was like I want to be an astronaut or something. And I would like as I got older, I thought about it and I was like, well, let's be realistic. To be an astronaut, I'd need to be like an A-list like Air Force pilot or like a super scientist of some sort. So, and even the A-list of Air Force pilots don't even make it into NASA and shit like that. So, I figured I was like, hey, well, maybe like an astronomer or something, you know, studying space and stuff.
Right.
But there's like this thing that has like been super interesting to me for like the past like 2 years, and I never knew it existed until like 2 years ago. But we found like this hole in space, but it's not really like a hole. It's just like empty. There's like a spot in and that sounds stupid because you're like all of space is empty, dude. You just go to space and it's empty.
Right.
But like there's like an area where there's just no galaxies, no nothing. It's just an empty space. Like, and it's like I can't remember what it's called. It's like Bootes or something, or
I wouldn't know, but
dude, I can't remember. But it's just this really empty like location in space, and it's just like pitch black. I guess they said it's got like 2% of what the average area of space would have. So it's like if there was like 100 billion stars in this area or 100 billion galaxies in this area, it's only got like freaking a couple million.
right.
Like so it looks like it's just this empty space, like there's just nothing there. And I feel like because I watched this documentary a long time ago. It was one of those ones I think like voiced by Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever. Like where he like explains it or whatnot.
Sure.
But they were explaining how like red tinted plant like stars and planets that you see, like when you see like that red tint, that means that it's like I can't remember if this is right, but again, don't quote me on it. If it means it's like moving away from you, like it's going farther away, and then if it's like a blue tint, it's moving closer to you, like so like it's coming closer to, it's traveling towards us instead of away from us. And I feel like because a lot of the stuff in that area they said is like red tinted, I think like that might be the center location of if the Big Bang is real. I don't know. Again,
Yeah, I mean, that
if it's real, I feel like that might have been where it was, and it like boom, and everything just expanded. So now it's like got nothing there, but everything else outside of it is going out. you know?
Right. I
Okay.
think it's just like, I think it just shows just how incredible it is that we're even here, that Earth even happened, that we can look so far and still just not see even like hints of Earth. I think they only just recently found a planet that had water on it. It's just like crazy. It's nuts.
I'll
Right.
say this much. I definitely think that we are alone in our solar system. I think that's very easy to say. We are definitely alone in our solar system, but I don't think we're alone in the universe entirely, because there's so many planets out there. There's bound to be one out there that can support life and intelligent beings like us also. But I do also want to bring back to the point that Eli made about why would an alien probe us and like do all that stuff. And I used to be on that same mindset too, until I saw a video. I saw a video, or it was a TV show, of these guys who did this thing where they tranquilized a bear, and then they strapped a camera to it, and then they sent it off into the wild, and then they like waited a while. They like waited like a couple of days, and then like naturally the camera like fell off of it, and they went and retrieved the camera, and they saw all the footage that the bear was doing. And I immediately, when I saw that, I was like, that's what an alien would be doing for abductions.
Oh, you know what?
They would,
You're right.
They
You're
would
right.
do that. They don't want to, because when you want to study something, you study it in its habitat. So they would come down, all those like probe things, like you get probed, they put a camera or whatever in you, and then they study
Up
us.
your
They
butt.
see what we do. They see what humanity's like from like a human's perspective. Because yeah, they can just like watch us, or they can just like watch us from like an overhead view, or they can just just see from a personal view too. So I definitely do.
Well,
You
I don't.
learn more, like,
I mean, the
being
thing
the
is,
person,
like,
I guess.
if they're so much more advanced, would they really need to do that? Like, it makes more sense to me that they would just want to grab one of us and dissect us just to see what's going on.
And who's to say they
Right.
haven't? Like, that's what I'm saying, though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they could, like, one person could have been dissected, and then a person who, like, got probed and then came back was, like, the one that they were studying to see like, us and our, like... I'm not saying that I believe any alien abduction, because I honestly just don't. But I'm saying, like, it makes sense to me now why people do believe it. Like, I get the reasoning behind it, and I understand
Right.
it now.
Yeah.
The same way that we tag sharks and then watch them for 2 years on their travels and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, or...
I mean,
So it makes it like we already know a crap ton about sharks and we're way smarter than them and everything. We know like their swim routes and stuff, but still to this day we still like, you know,
Sure.
strap
But at
cameras
this
to
point,
them and
we should have been
all
able
this
to have
other
spot
crap,
them by
just-
now. Like, we should have been able to,
right.
like, have seen it or something, especially with the
you
technology
can't
that we
just
have.
like assume that the aliens are going to run on the same logic or like ideas that we will. Like, we're looking at it from our point of view, but if they're
Yeah,
out
that's
there,
true.
their culture, the way that they learned,
Well,
just
exactly.
Their whole
totally just
existence could be,
completely
like,
different.
They could just be the Covenant and just come down and reign supreme on us,
Well,
dude.
not even that. They could just have a totally different concept of living.
Yeah, what if instead for them, what if living for them is just like eating poop?
What?
Well, I mean,
that could be like I'm just saying, like, the
Right,
fact
like-
is we don't know. It can be on a whole nother spectrum to us that's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
So it's like if you see it as, oh well, let's say there is alien life and it is 100% different from us. I mean, there is alien life, microbes and weird like cells and little beings. They exist. That is an alien. They are not from our planet. Just because it doesn't look like a little green man doesn't make it not an alien.
Sure.
It's an alien. If you find a freaking insect on a strange planet that's not Earth, it is an alien. But yeah, their whole concept of being, their whole sense of being, could be just they sit in a under a rock for 24 hours, and it allows them to, like, they eat the rock or something. I don't know, like, just weird shit, like really different shit, like stuff
Yeah.
that we can't even think about or understand because we've never seen it and we don't know what it would look like.
Exactly. It's weird to me. I don't know. I was so sure for so long, but it's just now that we see so far. Like I was saying, now that we've seen a planet that legit has water on it, it's like there are other
Right.
planets that have conditions that could support life that we like could see or
I
understand,
think-
and we don't see it. So maybe it really is just we're the one in a insane
The thing
billion
that I
chance, and we're just
Yeah,
alone.
that's what I was gonna say. I see the other thing, the other side of the spectrum that I understand where people come from as well when they're like, no, there is no other aliens, you know, like, or at least like they understand the microbe kind of deal, but they're like little green men, little gray men, or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call them, the grays.
Exactly.
I feel like that's racist.
Alienist. I don't know.
The grays. Like they say, like, well, you got to look at the conditions it takes, everything it takes for the Earth to be created. We are a 0.1%. We had a 0.1% chance of existence, and we did.
Yeah.
You know, like the chances of that being replicated and everything is what's really difficult. But the thing that scientists and other people are trying to relay is, look at Mars. It's very close. Mars has water on it. It's just frozen. Like,
Yeah.
and their deal is, if let's say if the water on Mars melted any amount, if any ice on Mars melted, it's going to create a chemical reaction and it's going to create life,
Sure.
which is what leads them to being so attracted and infatuated with this planet. And like other planets, there's that other planet that was found that looks almost exactly like Earth, but it's like purple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got water on it and everything and clouds. So it's like, we don't know. There might be like, they might be in the earlier stages of life, like
Well,
from
yeah,
us. If like evolution, if on the whole subject, as far as like evolution goes, maybe they're still just, they're in the very beginning and they're just microbes swimming in the
Yeah,
water
exactly.
before they turn into everything else, you
So
know?
it took us whatever millions, billions of years. So
Right, to come from that to what we are now. So
yeah.
Oh man, Space chat.
Space.
Can I talk about Promare?
Final Frontier.
Yeah.
No,
Tell us about
we gotta
Promare,
wait
man.
till Jenny's on.
No, forget that. She's
Oh.
gone, dude. You ain't gonna talk about it, dude.
There's only a few minutes left, so let's just talk
I won't
about...
talk that much about Promare.
Let's just talk about Link's Awakening for now. And then when we have
For
someone
now.
else who's on, aka Jenny, who can talk about Promare, it'll give us different points of view.
I see what it is. It's you want to talk about your topic.
I mean, I do, yeah, because I think it probably will be good for the amount of time we have left.
Before we get into your topic, I want to do a really quick game. I want to get this segment right. I've got a game that I want to do. It's just a little trivia corner that I'm going to be running for. I'm hosting over you two and whomever our guest may be. It's just a little bit of video game trivia. It'll only ever be 1 to 3 questions, nothing more than really. But I wanted to kind of do that really quick. So
Yeah.
cue the theme song for this section.
There it is.
That works.
Get shot over
that
here.
works, dude. That's perfect. All right.
Run!
So get your thinking caps on, guys.
Okey-dokey.
This one's gonna be a doozy.
All right.
It's not.
Okay.
So because I am pretty excited about 2 published Bethesda titles, not really anything that they've made,
Right.
but publishing. I'm excited for 2 Bethesda titles. We're going to do a little bit of simple Bethesda trivia, all right?
Yeah.
Mainly surrounding a section of Bethesda. So, first question is, whoever's first to answer gets a point, and then I'll give a bonus question for an extra point. So, question 1. What is the full title of the 5th Elder Scrolls series of games?
The 5th?
Yes.
Isn't that Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim?
There we go. Ronnie gets a point. Simple. Simple and straightforward. See, it's not hard. It'd be an easy question because we're going to start off easy.
I don't know
and
anything about
as the
Bethesda.
as the podcast goes on, it's going to get a little bit different, a little bit harder. But it's a bonus question. Do you want to take the bonus question?
What?
Okay, so here's the
Do
deal.
I get to take the bonus
if
question?
if you get the bonus question wrong, you lose your point.
Oh, no.
You lose
Well,
your
actually-
point from the last.
Actually, you
game.
know what? Nah, give me the bonus. Give me the bonus.
Bonus question. Okay. What was the exact date of
Oh.
Elder Scrolls Skyrim's release?
Oh, that was 11/11/11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ding, ding, ding. That's
So
a
many
bell
games
right
come
there.
out on 11/11/11. That's why.
Yeah, but that
There you
was
go.
like the one. Yeah, that was like the main one, major one for that year. It was a
True,
pretty big
yeah.
deal for whatever reason. Yeah. I mean, Skyrim set the benchmark for a long time.
Yeah.
I think still is a benchmark, or it just recently is no longer a benchmark for like people's gaming, like for like their rigs and stuff like that for what they've got. You know, people's benchmark is can it run Skyrim?
Now it's
you
can it
know?
run Minecraft?
My God, dude.
What's the next question?
Freaking, it's the worst thing. Oh, that was the bonus question. Oh, I can give you another one.
Oh wait,
I'll
we
give you-
did. So
I
wait, so I won? I won trivia?
Yes, you win today's game. You win
Whoa.
today's.
Wait, there's only one
trivia
question?
corner. There was 2.
There's one and then a bonus.
Do you want another?
Wait,
one?
what would
Do you
happen
want
if
another-
I have a question. I have a Bethesda-related trivia.
Yeah, okay, do it.
Okay, yeah, go for
What
it.
was the first Fallout game that Bethesda made?
That Bethesda made?
Yeah.
That was Fallout 3.
Yes.
Mm.
They did not
Jesus,
make
Ronnie.
Fallout 1 or 2.
Yeah, that was.
On
I'm pretty sure
fire.
that was Obsidian, wasn't it?
It was
I mean-
Obsidian. It was owned by Interplay, and then Bethesda bought it from them.
Yeah.
Look at Ronnie on fire. Is that 3 points?
Yeah.
Starting off hard,
Not
man.
bad, dude. Not bad at all.
Coming in hot, and sooner or later, Sean, you're gonna have to step up to the plate and.
I mean, I actually knew the answer,
Knock
but I
'em
was
down.
like thinking to myself for a second. I was like, "Is there a catch? Is there a part that I don't remember?"
anything that'll be like Pokemon related, I'm expecting.
Oh
you
no,
to just
Sean will win.
mop
It's
the
I
floor
impossible.
with-
wish that we had recorded that night when you guys were grilling me on every Pokemon.
They legit like asked it.
Oh yeah.
It was actually kind of scary how much Sean has memorized Pokemon. It's
Like
actually
No,
kind
yeah,
of
30
scary.
minutes
man.
of just like, do you know this one? Do you know this one?
Yeah, they kept putting in
They're just
pictures,
like-
and it's like Sean's gonna know it. Like I kept telling them like stop, you're just embarrassing yourselves. Like he knows them all.
I mean, it's
That's why I don't say anything too much when it comes to Pokemon, because of everyone in the group, my knowledge of Pokemon is the most minuscule. It's
no, it's more
so
than Wade's,
subpar,
surely.
dude. I know just enough to get by. Like, but if you pop a one of these Pokemon in front of me, I'd just be like, I don't know who that is. Like,
Wade would know. Wade knows nothing about Pokemon. He actually just
Dude,
knows nothing. I don't even think he's played a Pokemon game.
I think what would be fun at one point would be to do something like, for Eli, show him a Pokemon and then a fake one, and be like, which one's real and which one's fake.
oh no, dude, don't do that to me.
Yeah,
I still want us to do
that'd
a.
be super fun.
I still want us to do a podcast. Draw My Life, where we all sit in a room and Eli draw his life, and we have to explain what we're looking at for the podcast.
What?
That'd be funny.
Why me, dude? Why do I have to?
Because you're the
be on
host. This is
drive?
your podcast. This is your
Yeah, but I'm
idea.
like
You're the
the
host.
worst
Like this,
at
you're
it, dude.
actually the leader of this podcast.
We'll do it over a game of Drawful.
I don't know how you pull
I
that
don't know.
off.
Sure, maybe we can get together. We'll set up like a tabletop deal, and
yeah, we
I'll get a
could figure
couple
something out.
good quality cameras, maybe a couple Canon M50s, and slap them up to
Well, I mean,
watch. So you
Right now, we're just doing it over Discord,
Yeah.
and podcasts are best when we're all in the same
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I did want to say. I'm thinking about, obviously, starting up a Patreon for us, so that way, if anyone does happen to be listening,
Give me money.
strangers, yes, give me money, give us money. You know,
Give me
so that way
money.
we can up this quality. You know,
Up this quality, and I can quit my job.
Whoa.
I don't know about all of that.
Ah, give me money.
That's a bit of a far-flung goal.
Give
for
me
now.
give me
that's
much
a-
money.
That's a big stretch, but yeah, I'm thinking setting up a Patreon and just setting up some tiers for some cool stuff, simple stuff, nothing too major, but we can discuss that what we want each tier to be. I'm thinking like a $5, $10, $15 kind of deal.
Sure.
Simple, not too much, and I mean you don't have to donate every month, but you know that'd be cool.
What would be nice about having a Patreon page is funding it for like trips that we can go on and stuff that we can like all do together as a group, and then we can come back and like tell these stories on the
E3.
podcast, stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
E3 is a dream of mine. I know it's not been the best in recent years, but I want to fucking go.
You mean
And if
Sony's
you guys are
hasn't
willing
been
to,
everyone now.
You mean Sony's
I
hasn't
know,
been
yeah.
the best?
well, dude, fucking Sony, man, and they're one of the main people that I
They
really
don't
want
even
to
do
see
E3 anymore.
when I go there. But they don't even do it. They haven't done it in the past 2 years. Well, they did it last year, but it was really half-assed.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They had like the fucking
They had
flute
nothing.
dude
They had
guy
nothing
and
to
the-
show really.
I
They only
think-
had like
and
a few
and
things.
the shamisen.
I
Like
think the problem for me is like it's not any different really than just watching online. So the main reason to go would be to like play the games and talk about the stuff that we played. But the lines are so absurdly long now. It's like we'd be able to each just play like one game and then talk about it.
yeah, but I still want to just the experience itself. You know.
You can experience the sweat and the lack of deodorant.
Yeah, the neck beards.
Why can't people
and
put
the,
on deodorant? It's not that hard.
I don't understand, Ronnie. I thought it was like just a funny thing, like a meme.
Honestly,
but no, apparently
that's-
it's super legit. That just
Dude,
people-
that's why the aliens are fucking probing us.
because they want to figure out why people can't use deodorant.
They're like, why the fuck can't you wear deodorant?
They would have
freaking
saved us from our,
barbarians.
they would have saved us from our doomed planet a long time ago, but we smelled so bad that they couldn't deal with it.
Just the smell of BO just wafting off the planet. Like, no thanks.
God, dude, that's why we have like climate change and everything.
Yeah, right.
Fucking
That's what they're gonna do.
smelly-ass
No, that's what the
stinky-
climate change is. You know the
Yeah,
ozone.
that's what it's called.
You
That's
know what
what
the
it is.
ozone layer was? That was the aliens' attempt of using deodorant spray on the planet.
saving
Yeah.
saving the rest of the galaxy from our stench. Like,
Or a smelly armpit of a planet.
Dude, that's what the Covenant should have done.
fuck, dude.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Speaking of the Covenant, when's my Halo Reach coming out on PC?
Halo
they
Reach
did a
on PC,
beta.
baby.
Like a month ago, but I haven't seen anything since.
God, it's taking way too
Dude,
long.
no updates. No updates.
It's taking way too long.
Xbox One, Halo Infinite, guys.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen anything. All they
I
did
have
was show that.
zero hope for that game.
I don't. Well, why do you have zero hope? Why zero hope?
I've got some.
I got hope for that.
consistently carry hope for Halo because
I
it's the only
just-
one franchise I feel like can come back. You know, I feel like it
I
can
just
do it.
don't. I feel like it's gotten to the point where Halo's not like alone in the like genre anymore. It's not as special, so it's harder for it to stand out. And
Halo's
clearly,
special.
343 doesn't really like
Carry
fully
the same
understand
level.
or like get Halo as much as Bungie did. Obviously,
I would
Yeah,
agree.
but Bungie's
And I-
too busy with freaking Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny's garbage.
well, yeah, but I mean that's why I'm saying Infinite. I know we haven't seen really anything, but so far I'm just not feeling like I've heard anything or seen anything that makes me feel like it's different than just Halo 5 or 4.
I really well from a lot of things that I've heard from them. I've heard a lot of the Bungie execs are saying that they want to make this Halo like they want to go back to their roots like a lot. So that's already a plus for me of them going back to their roots. And they have addressed a lot of the issues that they've faced. Remember that whole thing with Locke that I told you about? How I found an article where they like talked about how that they were super surprised people cared about Master Chief, even though he's like the main character of the game. So like, we didn't think people actually liked Master Chief that much. We didn't think they'd care. Well,
It's like, dude, everyone in gaming thinks Master Chief is a legend. He is the Legend 27. Like,
yeah, but like a
no
lot of
shit,
people
care about him.
Yeah,
Like,
but it sounds like 343 has been acknowledging this a lot lately. Like I do think that they just have
I
been
don't
like
know.
I do think that they've been doing the child like thing where they like plug their ears and just say la 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 to like all the fans' complaints. But it seems like that they are genuinely like wanting to like
Ubisoft.
I
do
don't
stuff.
trust
Did I say
anything
Ubisoft? I meant
that
Bungie.
people just say.
no, I was saying Ubisoft.
It's easy
I-
to
it
say
would be
we've
nice
learned
to
from
see
our
actual
mistakes. It's
gameplay.
better to show something or like if they gave like specific details and like talked about how they want to address them. That's different than just like, oh yeah, we're going back to our roots. Like
They
that
should-
doesn't mean anything
but
to
we've
me.
also this is something I think we all need to understand though. We've entered this day and age where game companies now think that no matter what they put out, it's something so special and so hype that they don't have to release any information for it and people are just going to eat it up. But you're not making a Kojima game. You're not making an original Halo game. You're not doing that. You're putting out refreshed Assassin's Creed. You're putting out, all of the shit that we've played a bajillion times over, and we all think it's the same thing every single time. Yeah, it was all right. Everyone has it's the same thing, or it's actually it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But they're feeling like, oh well, you know what? We've got this great legendary title coming out right now. We're not gonna tell anyone what it is, or what the gameplay is gonna be like, or what it is, all the way up until like the last week of freaking release, and then people get on board with it because the concept is good, and that's the problem. All these companies are having great concepts, great ideas, but are executing it so horribly.
I think
And it's
I think the problem is not that they don't show it. It's that when they do show it, it's just mundane. They don't do anything to really make it seem hype beyond just like, yeah, here's some more Halo. And it's like...
shout out to Death Stranding.
Well, exactly. I mean, they could have done it faster. It took them a long time. But yeah, I mean, that's a decent example. And it's like in this era, with the game changer that is like these endless games like Fortnite and Minecraft and League that people can just go back to if there's nothing new coming out that is exciting, it's a lot harder for these big games to just get by on name brand alone anymore.
Right. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't think that Death Stranding has taken too long because you got to realize Hideo Kojima came from, you know, the Silent Hills.
How long?
He was working
Right.
on that.
I don't
prior.
think it's
That was-
taken too long to make the game. I think they
Oh.
shouldn't have announced it like 3 years early and then just been like, gameplay is coming for 3 years and then finally release it. It's like, just let us know we just started. Okay, it's going to be a while and then you'll be able to see it.
I kind of liked that they went that route. I kind of liked how they kept playing with my emotions. I feel like I'm part of like I feel like I'm having Stockholm syndrome because it honestly was. It honestly was because it was just them like doing nothing but teasing me the whole entire time. But it did make me keep coming back and wanting more. So I do think
I'm like the opposite. I just stopped caring for like 2 years because I was just like, okay, they're not going to show anything forever. So when they finally do show something, I'll come back.
Do you ever have that moment though? Do you ever have that moment where you're like, oh, I don't care anymore, and then like a year goes by or whatever, and then you sit there and you're like, huh, I wonder what happened, and you think about it, and doesn't it ever get you like excited again? Do you never have that?
No, that just if I lose interest, it's just gone until they do something to bring it back.
I think that happened to me with Kingdom Hearts 3 a lot of times, and then the actual game came out, and I was disappointed, and that was that. That was that. So, I don't know. It honestly depends on how much I care about the series or the franchise. I usually only care about franchises when it comes to that. If it's like a new game coming out, I know nothing about it, and I'll just be like, okay. I was mostly just like, it kind of became a thing. It kind of became a spectacle with the Death Stranding one because we knew that we were going to get a new trailer every year, and it was just like, oh, I wonder what they're going to show. I wonder what kind of crazy thing they're going to show us next. And that was kind of like the thing that I liked about it was like knowing that there was going to be just like this 1 year like trailer that just like shows up. And it is kind of funny because it's just like, is there going to be gameplay this time? No? All right, maybe next year.
Well, it was two situations that surrounded that though. Kojima didn't want to show anything for it, and he didn't want to have to describe it or explain it, and I'm okay with that. I like that he's keeping the mystery because we can already anticipate it to be a fairly decent game at best, you know, like, or at worst. We know it's not going to be terrible. We know it's not going to be crap. It's not going to be freaking Metal Gear Survival or whatever. And so we have this expectation. We can expect that from Kojima's work because Kojima's works are all A-list games. They're all top tier. So we expect that. But at the same time, there were so many people who were just like, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what the game's about. I don't know this. I don't know that. And so they begged and begged and begged for so much to the point where he came out on Twitter a couple weeks ago, I think, and explained it. And he said he's sorry that he has to, but he's going to explain a little bit more about the game. He went in depth about the game and gave like a small synopsis for the game, so that way the people who had all of the skepticism can like shut the fuck up about it.
I do think that he did announce it too early. I will agree with that with Sean. I do think he announced it way too early. I like the way he went about announcing it. It just took having to wait for one trailer a year is pretty abysmal.
A bit excessive.
It's a bit excessive. Like if he announced it like a year before it came out and he like gave us those trailers like once every couple of months, that would have been pretty epic. But that didn't happen, and we just got like nothing for like the longest time.
Yeah. It's just kind of a killjoy for me. I like to have it announced relatively close, get a solid like feed of information
Like
about
Borderlands
it.
3.
Like Borderlands or like Pokemon typically will announce, 8 months or whatever prior to the game's release. Every month or so you get a decent, you learn a few new things.
Chunk of information.
And then by the time it comes out, you're hyped and you're ready to go.
But that's because Nintendo does really good, though. Nintendo does
right.
good.
And the thing is, like, if you don't do that, it's not like I'm not going to buy the game. Like, I'll probably buy Death Stranding because it looks pretty cool. It's just not as fun for me. It's just, I'm not going to be
You don't have the same level of hype that you could have had.
Yeah. It just could have been done better for me. But I also accept that for other people, it's like, they like the build-up over time, so.
Right. Right now, you can pre-order the special edition or like collector's edition of
Sponsor.
We wish.
We got an ad read. Sponsored by this episode. We're actually sponsored by Smart water. So let me go ahead and read the ad read here really quick. Glacier Smart Water. You know, we're in the dog days of summer, and it's really fucking hot here. Where we live, it's boiling. It gets really hot, upwards of 114 degrees and crap like that. It gets hot during the summer. Dog days, you gotta stay hydrated. You don't want to be walking around sweating bullets and your body's losing all of these liquids, but you're not putting anything back. Bam! Smart Water by Glacier.
We're way past our
Drink
hour.
it. Anyway, yeah.
Do you want to end it on an ad read that's not even a real
secret
ad?
to youth. It's not our ad, but Smart Water. If you guys would like to send us a sponsorship,
Drink water.
we would greatly
Super
appreciate
important.
it.
A lot of people
Stay
don't.
hydrated, you
Drink
thirsty
water.
bastards.
Just drink your own spit while you're at it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I do.
I'm
I'm
not
like,
sure that works.
I'm thirsty. Let me just drink my spit, and I do it.
Yeah, there you
and
go,
guess
guys.
what?
Life hack. If you're
And
ever
guess what?
dying of
I feel
dehydration,
I
drink your
feel
spit.
so refreshed. See, the reason why your throat gets so dry
Drink your piss.
is
Bear
because you're
Grylls
not.
does it.
The reason why your throat gets dry, like, well, Ronnie, what if my throat's dry because I'm in the middle of the desert? Well, you stupid idiot, you weren't drinking your spit to keep it moist, you dumb retard. See, it's just that easy. How are we gonna end this?
It's pretty. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I think we hit a good amount of topics today.
That was pretty good for again, first episode.
Episode
That was pretty
0.
Solid. Episode 0, guys. We're not counting this as the official. This is just a teaser of what's to come. A bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, we're just sort of setting the base, and we'll find our
Yeah.
way as we
We're
go.
like a Twitch thought. We'll just tease you.
Again, Patreon. It's soon to come. So if you guys would like to donate, so that way you can help us out with some better equipment.
gonna take,
later
like,
down the line,
2
and we
weeks to
could
make
do
this,
all that
so,
other
like,
bullshit.
Will
No,
it be
the
out by
Patreon
then?
will take me like a day, dude. The Patreon will take a day.
But this won't.
Yeah, Patreon's just a website, dude.
Why do we? What's gonna make it take so long?
Well, maybe we should finish this before we talk about
Just-
this.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Okay. Yeah.
But all right, well, thank you everyone for tuning in again. Greatly appreciate it if you are listening, and if you guys did actually take the time to sit through all of this bullshit and listen to us ramble on about a bunch of dumb stuff. I mean, we did like 20 minutes of freaking Pokemon, 20 minutes of like Area 51, and like 20 minutes of just like some other random bullshit.
Aliens.
But
I can't remember what the
think that-
last one was about. I think it's just
Mm,
random
Death
just
stuff.
like
Stranding kind of is
Halo
more of a
into
mix.
yeah, it was a whole thing, but it was fun.
But yeah, thanks everybody, and we'll catch you guys later on the next one.
Peace out.
Bye.
No one's gonna listen.